Hello, welcome to another late night drawing session where we spend the night staying up and drawing instead of going to bed on time. And as usual, I like starting with a 2H pencil to lay down the first rough outline so we can get a very light layer down. Then afterwards, I use a mechanical pencil to get all these feathery details of this osprey. And one thing I am quite fond of is this brown and white coloration they have, which gives them a dark band across their face that almost looks like a mask, which makes me think of them as a bandit of the water and sea. Well, at least that's what I imagine. I live in a very suburban area, so I'm only familiar with the local pigeon. But one thing that is true is ospreys are the only hawk to prey solely almost on fish. But anyways, back to the topic of coloration and feathers, a very important subject. I find that the greater variation of shapes the coloration gives makes it very fun to draw, because you get all these interesting dark and white tones and jagged shapes that allow you to play with tension and lets you unfold their feathery mass upon the paper so they can lift off and take flight in our imagination and hearts. And I do like a challenge of taking an array of shapes and seeing how you can push it, how you can arrange it to get something both visually interesting and dynamic. To me, that's where all the fun lies. Yes, it can be a slow process as drawings take time to build up layer by layer, but I kinda like that. It's a type of slow satisfaction when you are able to put in your work bit by bit and eventually get to see the accumulation of all your efforts. Now moving on to osprey number 2, or as I like to call it, the Batman osprey. I'm just joking around. But seriously, I am liking how the wind draws across the front as if it's being cloaked by a cape, with a tiny portion of its face peeking through. The drama, the suspense. I like it. Now back to this drawing, I like how the shapes within this front section pushes out but also cascades downwards. And I want this light trap between the shapes to shimmer and ripple across to add to the drama. And then the rest of the figure can kind of slowly support it but also break apart at the same time as it's falling down. And also, there isn't any more room at the bottom of the page, so this will have to do. I want to tell you something that I learned a few years ago in my drawing class, where my teacher explained the idea of tension. So in front of the class, she put her 2 index fingers as close as they can get without touching. And if you try this, it's actually very hard to do. Your fingers start to wobble a bit. And she called that force tension. And then afterwards, slowly, she pulled her fingers apart. And then that was called the release of tension. And this became something I always kept in mind as I draw. Because first, it can really provide a structure for your composition, especially if you don't know what you are doing. And second, it can really capture that energy, that push and fall of how a bird can fly on paper. And that will be it for tonight. I'll need to clean up before heading to bed. And for next time, do look forward to some upcoming videos I am making. I am practicing writing some scripts to have it go along with my video recordings. And it's actually quite tricky to have it all come all together as one interesting video, but it's something I want to improve on so I can make a video that you can look forward to. So until next time, and have a good rest of your night.